to continue? You rolling?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, the sole purpose of this meeting is to look at a voluntary merger for Chris Halford, and there are two lots with a well on one, a septic on the other, and there was some misunderstandings, and the select board ex officio at the previous meeting had kind of inappropriately thrown the word forced merger into the mix, and there's nothing forced about this. The landowner is happy to do this, and we are merging these two lots so that all the same things will be on one lot, and there won't be any more confusion as to which lot contains what. So let's take a look at this. Typically when we do a voluntary merger, we have two lots with the same owner, and then we have to have two deeds, one for each lot. And we have two forms, one to be kept by the town and one to go to Haverhill. And the reason we couldn't do this at the previous meeting was because this really does look like, at the first glance, that it needs to be signed by the planning board, but it is to be signed by the landowner. So, anyways, we have Chris Halford on both, and signature here.
We have both deeds.
We do have both deeds, and we can kind of confirm that they are as presented. We have book 4771, page 149, which is also map 11A, lot 408, and we have book 3717, page 696, and that is 11A 409. They are right next to one another, and the select board has recommended that we perform this, and I don't see any particular reason not to, especially after having spoken with the landowner, and he was happy to make all this happen. So, any questions?
Nope, looks straightforward.
Okay.
It was discussed at the last meeting, so I'm all good.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve this merger as presented.
Also move that.
Okay?
Yes.
Jen, need a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we've approved the Chris Halford voluntary merger, and I can, 15th day of December 2022, and there's signature, and then the lot or parcels identified are eligible for voluntary merger, and that. Okay, one of these gets filed and one of them is sent away, and we keep the one that tells you where to send it, and the overall needs this one, and so I can make that happen. I told you we were just here for one thing.
Yeah, so.
I tricked you. We have received a request from the select board to provide an end of year report. And because it's due in early January, we would not be holding another meeting. I don't actually know whether this is something that needs a board approval necessarily, but in the past, our end of year report has typically listed how many of each type of land, manipulations of land we have performed, and a basic description of what we have done or tried to do. And so I would like to write something up pretty basic, saying that the Grafton Planning Board in 2022 performed one lot line adjustment. That was the Peck Smith lot line adjustment, and then 2 voluntary mergers, one for Truman and this one for Halford. And besides that, we had substantial discussion on the trying to revise the subdivision regulations, and loose hopes of approaching the master plan at some point, but that's not really on the forefront. I don't know if there's anything else that we should add to that.
Seems appropriate.
Alright,
Yeah, we have access to the minutes, so,
right, absolutely. I actually had to look through them
yeah,
to figure out how many of those we did, so.
sounds good.
Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn,
Second?
or we gotta make it.
Oh, yes, I'll make a motion that we adjourn, till the next meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?